There's a certain feeling some bedrooms give you the moment you step inside. The lighting feels softer, the atmosphere quieter, and somehow the stress of the day begins to fade. And usually, it isn't because the room is larger or more expensive, it's the color. The right paint color can completely transform a bedroom, making it feel warm, restful, and quietly luxurious. Today's most beautiful interiors are moving away from cold, stark palettes and embracing softer tones that feel timeless, calming, and deeply livable. Think warm wood finishes, layered linen textures, soft evening light, and bedrooms designed to feel like a true retreat from the world. And as we move closer to number 1, each color becomes even more refined, elegant, and emotionally immersive. Let's begin. Color number 10, Healing Aloe. Healing Aloe has a softness that instantly changes the pace of a room. It's that quiet blend of muted green and gentle aqua that feels almost weightless in natural light, especially in bedrooms designed around comfort and calm. Imagine this shade paired with creamy bedding, light oak floors, and sheer curtains filtering in a slow Sunday morning glow. The room begins to feel less like a bedroom and more like a place to fully exhale. And what's especially beautiful about Healing Aloe is how relaxed it feels without losing sophistication. It doesn't try too hard. It simply creates an atmosphere that feels peaceful and restorative, almost like a private wellness retreat tucked inside your own home. In the evening, under softer lighting, the color becomes warmer and more cocooning. Add layered linen textures, woven accents, and a softly upholstered bench at the foot of the bed, and suddenly the entire space feels emotionally lighter. And while this shade brings a beautiful sense of serenity, the next color introduces something slightly more polished, a calm that feels airy, expansive, and quietly coastal. Color number 9, Windy Sky. Windy Sky feels open in the most elegant way. It carries that softened blue-gray tone that instantly brightens a bedroom without making it feel cold or overly styled. There's something about this color that brings to mind an upscale coastal home early in the morning, when the windows are cracked open just enough to let the breeze drift through crisp linen curtains. The atmosphere feels fresh, uncluttered, and deeply peaceful. What makes Windy Sky feel luxurious is its restraint. It isn't bold, and it doesn't need to be. Against warm woods, textured upholstery, and brushed metal lighting, it creates a bedroom that feels carefully composed without appearing overly designed. Throughout the day, the shade subtly shifts with the light. In the morning, it feels airy and luminous. By evening, it settles into a softer, almost silvery calm that makes the entire room feel slower and quieter. It's the kind of color that naturally encourages simplicity. Not empty minimalism, but thoughtful living. And from here, the palette begins to feel even more refined, moving into a shade that designers often use to create those softly architectural interiors that never seem to go out of style. Color number 8, Strong White. Strong white feels incredibly understated, and that's exactly what makes it so elegant. This isn't the bright, sharp white often seen in trend-driven interiors. Instead, it carries a gentle warmth and subtle gray undertone that gives a bedroom depth without heaviness. The effect is soft, quiet, and beautifully architectural. Picture this color surrounding tall paneled walls, oversized cream drapery, and a bed layered with natural linen and warm ivory tones. In daylight, the room feels calm and airy. At night, under ambient lamps and soft bedside lighting, everything takes on a warm, diffused glow. There's a confidence to interiors like this. Nothing feels excessive. Every texture becomes more important. The softness of the bedding, the grain of the wood, the matte finish of plaster or ceramic decor. Strong white creates the kind of home that feels curated slowly over time. Peaceful, collected, effortlessly refined. But the next color shifts away from airy restraint and brings in something richer and more grounded, a tone that feels deeply connected to nature, warmth, and relaxed sophistication. Color number 7, Clary Sage. Clary Sage has a grounded elegance that feels instantly comforting. It brings warmth into a bedroom in such a natural way, almost as though the space has always belonged there. This muted green works beautifully in homes layered with organic textures, walnut nightstands, woven lighting, soft oatmeal-colored upholstery, and thick linen bedding slightly rumpled at the edges. The entire room begins to feel welcoming in a very quiet, elevated way. What makes Clary Sage especially appealing is the sense of balance it creates. It feels earthy, yet refined, calm, yet full of depth. During the day, natural light pulls forward its softer botanical tones. In the evening, it settles into something moodier and more intimate, especially beside warm brass lamps and candlelight. It's the kind of bedroom color that makes people linger a little longer in the mornings. Coffee on the nightstand, windows open, soft music somewhere in the background. And while Clary Sage feels beautifully grounded, the next shade introduces a lighter, more luminous kind of luxury, one that almost glows in natural light. Color number 6, Morning Dew. Morning Dew has an unmistakable freshness to it. The moment it touches a bedroom, the entire atmosphere feels brighter, calmer, and more open. This soft green-gray carries light beautifully. In homes with large windows or gentle morning sun, it creates an almost airy glow across the walls that instantly softens the room. Everything feels lighter around it. The bedding, the textures, even the mood itself. There's something very peaceful about a bedroom painted in morning dew. It feels like a quiet countryside retreat where mornings begin slowly and evenings end early beside warm lighting and layered blankets. Pair it with pale woods, textured cream fabrics, and subtle stone accents, and the space begins to feel incredibly serene without losing sophistication. What's lovely about this shade is that it never feels overly decorated. It simply creates ease, the kind of effortless comfort that mature, beautifully lived-in homes often have. And just ahead, the atmosphere becomes warmer and more enveloping, with a color that feels inspired by boutique hotels and timeless European interiors. Color number 5, Venetian Portico. Venetian Portico brings a richness into the bedroom that feels intimate from the very first glance. It's warm, softly moody, and incredibly sophisticated without ever feeling formal. This is the kind of color that instantly transforms a room in evening light. Picture textured taupe walls glowing softly beside oversized upholstered beds, layered throws, warm wood furniture, and brushed brass sconces casting a golden warmth across the space. There's something distinctly European about it. The room begins to feel collected over time rather than perfectly staged. Comfortable, but unmistakably elevated. A Venetian Portico works beautifully in bedrooms where texture takes center stage. Boucle chairs, thick drapery, woven rugs, aged wood finishes, every layer feels richer against this backdrop. Emotionally, it creates a sense of retreat. A bedroom painted in this shade feels protected from the outside world, calm in a deeper and more enveloping way. And while Venetian Portico feels luxurious, the next color introduces an even more timeless elegance, the kind associated with heritage homes, quiet prestige, and interiors that never chase trends. Color number 4, Schoolhouse White. Schoolhouse White has a warmth that feels immediately familiar, like stepping into a beautifully restored home that has been loved for generations. Unlike cooler whites that can sometimes feel stark, this shade carries a creamy softness that wraps a bedroom in warmth while still keeping everything feeling fresh and refined. It's timeless in the truest sense of the word. In rooms with traditional millwork, soft neutral upholstery, antique-inspired lighting, and natural oak flooring, Schoolhouse White creates an atmosphere that feels quietly luxurious without appearing overly polished. The beauty of this color is how effortlessly it supports layered living. Open books on the nightstand, linen curtains slightly touching the floor, a cashmere throw folded casually across the bed. Nothing feels forced. As daylight changes throughout the day, the walls seem to shift gently between warm ivory and soft stone, giving the room remarkable depth for such a subtle shade. And as calming as this atmosphere feels, the next color introduces something even more emotionally immersive, a shade that makes a bedroom feel almost completely removed from the outside world. Color number 3, Quiet Moments. Quiet Moments feels exactly the way its name suggests. Soft, still, and deeply calming. This beautiful blend of blue, green, and grey creates one of those rare bedrooms that immediately lowers the energy of the room the moment you enter. The world outside feels farther away somehow. In natural light, the colour feels airy and delicate, but in the evening, with warm lamps glowing against layered bedding and textured fabrics, it becomes incredibly cocooning. The entire room takes on a softness that feels almost dreamlike. This shade works beautifully in bedrooms designed around comfort rather than perfection. Upholstered headboards, oversized pillows, woven textures, pale woods, and soft ambient lighting all become more beautiful against it. There's also an emotional quietness to this color that mature homeowners are drawn to right now. It feels restorative in a world that often feels overstimulating. And yet, just ahead, the palette shifts towards something even more tailored and refined, a shade with deeper sophistication and a sense of effortless luxury that feels unmistakably high-end. Color number 2, Poised Taupe. Poised taupe feels polished in the most understated way. Rich without being dark, warm without feeling heavy, this is the kind of color that instantly gives a bedroom a more elevated presence. There's a quiet confidence to it, the kind often seen in luxury residences where every material has been carefully chosen. Soft cashmere toned bedding, dark wood furniture, sculptural lighting, and layered textures that make the room feel deeply inviting. What makes poised taupe especially beautiful is the depth it creates. During the day, it feels soft and refined. But at night, under dim lighting and warm lamps, the room becomes incredibly atmospheric and intimate. This shade has a tailored quality that feels mature and timeless. Nothing about it feels trendy. Instead, it creates the impression of a home designed slowly and intentionally over many years. It's elegant in a way that doesn't ask for attention, and somehow there is still one final color that feels even more luxurious, more architectural, more cinematic, and effortlessly sophisticated in a way that stays with you long after you leave the room. Color number 1, Worsted. Worsted is the kind of color that completely transforms the emotional atmosphere of a bedroom. Deep, refined, and quietly dramatic, it creates interiors that feel both luxurious and deeply personal at the same time. This rich grey has an extraordinary softness to it. Rather than making a room feel dark, it adds depth and intimacy, especially when layered with warm lighting, textured fabrics, dark woods, and matte finishes. Imagine a bedroom at dusk. Soft lamps glowing against charcoal-toned walls, velvet accent chairs near tall windows, crisp bedding layered beneath oversized linen drapery. Everything feels calm, tailored, and beautifully intentional. What makes worsted so remarkable is its balance between sophistication and comfort. It carries the elegance of a designer home, yet still feels warm enough to truly live in. This is quiet luxury at its finest, not flashy, not excessive. Just timeless design, thoughtful textures, and an atmosphere that makes you want to slow down and stay a while. The kind of bedroom that feels less like a room, and more like a retreat from the world itself. There's a reason some bedrooms instantly feel calm and comforting. It's not just the furniture or decor, it's the color. The right shades soften the light, quiet the atmosphere, and make a space feel effortlessly luxurious. Today's most beautiful bedrooms are moving away from harsh contrast and embracing warm, layered tones that feel timeless, serene, and deeply livable. Some feel airy and peaceful, while others bring the rich sophistication of a luxury designer home. And as we count down to number 1, each color becomes more refined, immersive, and unforgettable. Let's begin.